The title's not lying to you, I actually did it myself. This video, as always, is brought to you by our wonderful patrons. If it wasn't for you guys, I would have to sell myself on the street for textbooks, so thank you for being the sweetest of sugar daddies. This week, we're talking about something that if it wasn't about this, would totally be clickbait, right? Like 800 words in 2 weeks, that's, I would call BS on anyone that said they did that. In fact, I had commenters way back in the day that used to claim they could do thousands of words in a week, and when I would ask them how, they wouldn't reply. Which is why I understand your skepticism, and then frankly, you made it through the intro and the Patreon thing. My assumption is you're probably curious, or your hands are prompted over the keyboard, thusly waiting to pounce. Both of which I think is justified, but let me explain myself. If this was just regular vocabulary, if I was talking about special pills or a certain workout that could get you to learn 800 words in 2 weeks, I would say you're stoned. Quite literally, probably on those pills, maybe a runner's high. But we're talking specifically about gairaigo and wasei-eigo. Anyone that studied Japanese for any amount of time has probably heard these, even if they might not be able to pick out exactly what those are. They're loan words. They're words that Japanese has borrowed from various different cultures and countries, although in my experience, it primarily seems to be English, Portuguese, Dutch, kind of in that area. In layman's terms, it means those words ain't ours. And it's not unique, obviously, to Japanese. I mean, English has it. We freaking use samurai and tsunami, anime. These are Japanese words, but they're also now real English words. If you go to a dictionary, tsunami, samurai, and I wonder if anime is actually in a dictionary. I don't have time today. If you guys find out, is anime in the dictionary, just let me know in the comments down below. I'd be fascinated to find out. And since these words are similar to our own vernacular, usually if you're watching this, you're probably some sort of an English speaker. You typically are gonna be able to connect these much easier to your native language, make those neurons fire, than if it was something completely different. I mean, if Japanese was as easy as elephant being elefante instead of zol, you might be able to pound words like this, and occasionally, it is. So as my gift to you guys, I will bestow upon you a word list. I know it sounds boring, but it's not any word list. Every textbook, paper, JLPT word list, all of them probably have some form of gairaigo on them. You probably know a few yourself, but the list I have down below is a PDF link. It's actually a compilation of a paper put out by the Portland State University that is actually a frequency chart. It's talking about the most used and most understood gairaigo and wasei-eigo. This word list is specifically talking about ones that you will encounter frequently. The list in totality is about 800 words. I actually sat there and counted, so you can thank me later. So hopefully, unlike most word lists where who knows if you're ever gonna use these are gonna be ones that you will encounter frequently throughout your Japanese career, which is my hope in giving it to you. Now, Chad, how do you expect us to learn 800 gairaigo in 2 weeks? Systematics. One of the favorite phrases here at the Chad Zimmerman channel, systems, progress, anime titty. No. Maybe. The basic tool list for any person who's gonna wanna do this, who's gonna wanna pump up their vocabulary number. If you're a newer learner, you only know 300-400 words, could you imagine being able to double or triple that in 2 weeks? That's pretty cool. Here's what you're gonna need. I left a PDF link in the description down below. You're gonna go to that and get the word list that you have. Next up, highlight all the words you already know. Those are worthless to you. You already know them. Just skip them. Secondly, now you're gonna need a SRS or spaced repetition sausage. System. It's not sausage. System. Examples are like Anki or Memrise. There's a whole bunch of them. Pretty much all of them are free. Find whichever one you want. And you're gonna input the ones that you don't know into said list. Then you're gonna break down the total of whatever this word list is, which I think is like 846 or something crazy like that, minus the ones that you already know. Divide that over 2 weeks, and that's how much you're gonna need to learn in order to learn 800 words, or minus however many hundred of words that you happen to know. Finally, you also are gonna need willpower. It's gonna take time and focused effort in order to be able to do this. I believe it's called the tomato timer, the tomato method. I've kind of dabbled in this myself. It's a good system, but honestly, nothing works better than good old-fashioned willpower. You're gonna be the next language Hokage, you better freaking train like it. And I can't teach you willpower. I have videos on willpower, but it's something you have to cultivate on your own, unfortunately. But I'm not just leaving you out there on the willpower peninsula. I did this myself. I took this very same approach with this very same list last spring. I took it in March. And it did take me away from my JLPT studies. These words more or less aren't on any JLPT list. Some are, some aren't, kind of depends. But I was like, I just want to see if I can do it. And I was capable of not only learning, but maintaining long term. It has been 8 months. I'm a language learner, I'm not a mathematician. Since I learned these, and every time I'm on my language app, I still remember them. I actually wanted to wait to do this video probably for about a year, but I'm trying to get some of these backlogged ideas I have out before I go to Japan to film next month. So yes, even 8 months later, I still remember all of those when I was putting in 50 a day. It is possible. It is doable. It feels great to be able to do that many, but it's up to you. However much willpower you can manage, however much time you can scrounge together, whatever that is, putting in the gairaigo work is actually really, really nice. It rounds out a lot of edges, it fills in a lot of gaps, and most of all, it gives you some confidence, which when learning this language, oh my gosh, is so important. Feeling like you're capable, feeling like you can do things that feel impossible, because sometimes learning Japanese feels impossible. But if you can really sit down and work at it, and at the end of 2 weeks you could say, I learned 800 words, let me tell you, there's nothing, hold on. There's nothing impossible for you in Japanese. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, please leave them in the box down below. I do read all of them. I upload videos like this every single Wednesday. I have an hour-long live stream where we come together on Saturday to watch anime. It's at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. I would love to answer your questions or hate mail then. Probably not love, but I'll still do it. I also have an amazingly funny podcast that if you guys would like to check out is called the Wicked Miscreant Podcast. I have a link in the description down below as well as on the side of my channel. I think we're at 146 subscribers, so I'd like to see that at 150. If any of you guys would like to throw me a bone or two, that would... boner. Oh, I'm 7. And of course, I will be finishing up week 6 of the Road to JLPT Victory on Saturday morning, so be looking forward to that video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Love hard, love deep, and I will see you all next week.